Welcome to another episode of the Super Fantastic Exchange, where we have an inspired conversations with leaders, thinkers, and motivators. And today I have an incredible guest with us here today. And this gentleman I've known for several years. I've been inspired by him. Him and his wife have done some incredible things. But let's give it up for none other than Vontoba Terry.
Oh, thanks for
Can,
having me, Gary.
can you hear him clapping for you? You got quite the fan club there, sir.
I can.
That's
Wow,
awesome.
very enthusiastic audience.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we got to let them simmer down a little bit, then we'll get started. But Vontoba, I want to give you a chance to share a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Oh, yeah, I'm Vontoba Terry. I am an entrepreneur and an author. My wife and I run UI Global Brands, which is a company we started in 2009 when we were 20-something-year-olds in grad school in Las Vegas. In 2010, we moved to Texas. We love it here in Texas. And we began expanding our business, which includes Urban Hydration. Urban Hydration is a clean beauty brand that includes face wash, face lotion, spot creams, facial masks, body soap, lotions, and other products to help keep the skin clean and keep it from being dry. Because coming from the desert in Las Vegas and then being in the climate in Texas where you never know what you're going to get, got the allergens and things, you want to have healthy, natural ingredients to keep you clean, keep you smelling good, but that won't cause harm in the long run. And we wanted something that was affordable as well. So all of our products are under $15 and they're sold in places like Walmart, Target, HEB, Ulta, and we got into those places over the years through building relationships and really telling our story about being a clean beauty brand that gives back. So we do donate to Water is Life, an international charity, for every product that we sell. And we like to say one clean product purchased equals 1 gallon of water donated. But because of the way we donate, the sustainability, it's actually more than 1 gallon. We're not just like giving people gallons of water and then saying, go on your way. We're actually helping them build clean filtration systems and building water wells that help them access the water that's already replenishing naturally underneath, but they just couldn't afford to get it before someone came in and contributed. So that's a little bit about Urban Hydration. Me personally, live in Texas with my wife, who's been married for 19 years, and my 3 children, 9, 11, and 13 years old. Amazing kids, very proud of them. Yeah, just other than that, normal guy.
Vontoba, I'd say you're anything but normal. You are like next level. And one of the reasons why I've reached out to you is because you have been such an inspiration. You're constantly, you and your wife with your company and all of the work that you're doing, you're constantly out there doing some incredible things. And I've been inspired by the work that you put in and the success that you've had. And that is incredibly inspiring. So I love to connect with inspiring leaders and just peek behind the curtain and ask what inspires an inspiring leader. And so, Vontoba, I reached out to you and I said, hey, what inspires you to do all these incredible things? You've been on TV, you just did an entrepreneurial conference. I mean, there's just a wide variety of incredible things you have done, you and your wife. And you came back and there's 2 things that you shared with me that inspires you. The first one is bringing people together in a community to help them uplift them within the community. So explain to us what that means to you and how are you bringing people together and uplifting others?
Yeah, community is very important to me because I was raised, I grew up in Ohio. I was raised in a family where my great-grandfather was the pastor of our family church. And out of the 60 members at the church, maybe 55 of them were family. So, in the early part of my life, I was in church with my great-grandmother, my great aunts and great uncles, my grandmother, my first cousins and second cousins. So to have that rich experience of community where we go down and have dinner after church on Sunday and be together all day on Sunday, building community, I see the benefits of having a healthy community. So whether that's the entrepreneurial community with what we did with the conference last weekend, or that's the YMCA where I'm vice chair of the board there, it's all about how can we get people to see that it's not just about you, but it's about the people around you. Because at the end of the day, healthy communities are safer, and I have little kids, the better places for me to raise my family. Healthy communities provide places where we can give access to opportunities that, may not be available otherwise. And so holding those doors open is a good way to build community. And that just inspires me, because to hear someone last weekend say, hey, hearing your story from you and your wife has forever changed the trajectory of my business for life. I'm like, whoa, like that encourages me. So it's like a feedback loop of inspiration.
That's absolutely incredible. What really stands out to me is, Vontoba, is you grew up in an experience where you had that cohesive, the relationships, that community, in the church, whether it was that big family, plus you had the community within that church, and you had that experience. And what I see from you is you're continuing that experience, and you are growing it, and you're helping other people through all of the things that you do with urban hydration, giving back to the community, and then the YMCA, being vice chair there at the YMCA, and then the things that you're doing, one, to take care of your family and to grow business and everything, but you give back and you're sharing with other people. Because I love watching you on social media, you and your wife, all the things that and that inspires me. But now you've got some proof that people are coming back to you and say, hey, Vontoba, what you shared, the things that you're doing, this has given me encouragement to do something as well. And just the life that you're leading is an inspiration in of itself. And man, I have to applaud you for that as well. And I love that you've got community as an inspiration point.
Oh, thank you, Gary.
That's so awesome. So, Vantoba, the second thing that you shared with me that inspires you is your children and creating a future for them. So, what is I as a father, I get it. I understand, with the kids, I want to create a legacy for them. I want to create something for them. But what does that mean to you, and why are you inspired by your kids?
I mean, my kids are great. I just love them. They have their own personalities. My oldest, he's a baseball player. That's the only sport he wants to play. He did his goals for 2024, and increasing his batting average was part of it. And my middle son, he has a smile that will light up anybody's day. It doesn't matter what you're going through. And he's very intelligent, and he just has a personality where he knows the perfect thing to say, and he feels very deeply, and his emotions are he feels in a way that I didn't understand, and so I learned a lot from him. And then my daughter, she's the youngest. She has my wife's personality. She's full of enthusiasm, and she's just a great person to be around, and she's very encouraging and uplifting, you know. And so to see them and their personalities, I want them to be able to carry those gifts and strengths into adulthood, and not come into a future where their gifts are stifled because the world is a horrible place to be. Like I want the world, when they reach 18 and 28 and 38, to be a place of opportunity. And I know, yeah, wars are going to happen, things are going to happen, and problems and stuff, but at least where, given the right circumstances, they can have a safe place. They can be in a place where they can realize their dreams. If they want to have a business, or if they want to work in a company and move up the ladder, I want them to be in a place where they have that potential. And so pouring into them and teaching them some principles, where they can reach their super fantastic potential. That's what's important to me, because I'll be able to say, at the end of my days, Lord willing, that I did everything I could to help prepare them. And I can't prepare them for everything they'll face in life, but I can at least give them a foundation, some principles, some character building, some understanding, some wisdom, so that when they see it, it's not daunting. It's not like going to fill them with trepidation. So that really inspires me when they say something or do something related to what I've taught them, because that means they get it. And I know they're going to rebel sometimes and try some things, but at least I know it's in there. They have a conscience, and then the fact that they've accepted our faith, they were baptized a couple years ago, and they embrace our faith. That even makes it better, because we're talking from common ground. We have a
Yeah.
similar foundation. Like, this isn't just me as your dad saying, this is the way, this is the way, this is, our principles that we both agree on that say, here's our standard, here's how we roll as the Terry family.
Oh, I love that. And there's so many things to kind of unpack from that, Vontoba, is, one, here you are working to set an example for your kids. And then two, I love that you have such awareness for your three kids because now the uniqueness that each of your kids have and the gifts, skills, and talents that are in them. And then I love how you're encouraging them, you're helping them along the way. You recognize, they're gonna make mistakes, along the way, and that's how they learn. And you're creating this legacy for them to stand on. I love how you talked about you're creating that foundation for them, and that is so admirable. And one of the things that I see from this, I know the world's a big scary place, but what I am imagining is when your three kids step into adulthood and they step out into quote unquote the real world, it's going to be better because they're in it. It's going to be better because you've created this foundation, you've created this legacy, you've created principles, they're setting goals, they know what their gift, skills, and talents are. So when your three kids walk into the world, it's better because they're in it. And it's because you've set them up for success along the way. That's incredible.
That's the goal. That's the goal, to set them up for success. And when you bridge that with community, I mean, I want my children to find mates who share a similar set of values. So, if I'm involved in a community of people, I joke with one of my friends. He has a daughter around the same age as my oldest son. I'm like, they at least need to know of each other.
Right.
I don't know if I support arranged marriages or not. Like, at least they know each other, that each other exists, and they've got similar upbringing, and I
Mhm.
approve. So I mean, hey,
That's
because that's part of legacy, is the continuation, not just of the bloodline. And I think sometimes in terms of legacy, that's too much of the focus. Like, you don't want your blood corrupted. Like, you want your bloodline to be like people that are good people. I mean,
hmm
that share your thought processes about what it means to build up a community, to have integrity, to be a good person. That's really it. Like, I want them to find a mate that will help build them up and continue a legacy of giving. And my personal motto is give and grow. So a legacy of giving and growing. And love, because love is an important part of our brand for urban hydration. We talk a lot about LUHV for urban hydration, UH.
Oh yeah.
So, share the love. That's where we're coming from with that.
That is so good. And I agree with you. I mean, it's the people you surround yourself with, and that's the community. And as a father with kids, I want to make sure my kids are surrounded with a great community. So when at some point in time they decide to find a spouse down the road, I've surrounded them with the right community. So they're not, like you said, kind of finding somebody they may not align with the family values and principles and decisions we've made as Christians. And I love that. I love that. That is so good. Well, Vantoba, it's hard to believe I could talk to you for hours, but we're right at the end of our time. Before we wrap up, I want to give you an opportunity to share a closing thought with us.
Closing thought would be, uh, as you continue on in your day, anybody who's viewing, just find different ways that you can give, and you can give of your time, your treasure, your talent, but it can be a small way, it can be a big way. It doesn't have to be writing $1 million check. It could be, paying for somebody's lunch or coffee. But find some small way to give. And then through that, I truly believe that's how you grow. And so that's why my personal motto is to give and grow, because as you give, you can grow. And through growing, then you're able to give more. So it's like a cycle, it's like a loop. And so I talk a lot about cycles, Gary, when I speak with people, and we want to create good cycles, positive cycles that feed back into growing, good seed and good ground into good harvest, and then breaking any of the negative cycles, any generational curses or bad habits or addictions. We want to break those, and we want to build up the good cycles. And I just leave that parting thought with your audience.
Vontoba, I usually like to add a little to the end of that, but I think what you've just shared with us is like spot on perfect. And make sure you guys rewind and watch that again. Listen to that again. Take some notes what Vontoba just shared. I think there's such value in what he shared. So, and he's proof because he's following these things and just amazing. Guys, make sure you follow Vontoba on LinkedIn. I'm going to put a link to Urban Hydration in the show notes, so make sure you check that out. Incredible company, incredible products, great way to just the great things that he's doing. You'll be inspired when you follow him. Vontoba, thank you again. Thank you guys so much for joining us today on the Super Fantastic Exchange. Remember, create your super fantastic and be inspired. We'll see you on the next episode.